Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Garrett Harding and I make videos for you guys teaching you how to use Davinci Resolve and all the tools that it has to offer you. Today we're going to be talking about the basics of the color page. I'm going to be showing you where things are and how to use some of the basic tools to get you started in color grading. So without any further ado, let's jump into this video. So when you open Resolve, normally you'll be here on the edit page, but all of our work today is going to be done on the color page. So now that we're here on the colors page, we'll see the clip that we have in our timeline. If you have more than one clip, you'll see them all like doot all throughout there. You see that right here I have this little crosshair symbol. That is just to show that I have used stabilization on this footage because it was pretty shaky. Now it isn't. Good to go. So the basics of color grading, the things that you need to know to get started, are mostly going to be down here, around these wheels and in these little sliders down here that you can move around. If you don't see these scopes right here, go ahead and pop them open by clicking on this little guy right here. You can choose what menu to have down here. I like to keep my scopes open because it gives you an idea of the balance of colors. You can see that right here, this looks pretty good. It was shot just as an MP4, no raw or anything, so it's pretty even as is. The whites look pretty white and the black looks pretty black, so we have a pretty even spread of our colors down here. That's a nice thing to check because then you'll know if you have any imbalances that you need to fix by using, on the left side, your color wheels. So if we change our offset to purple, you'll see on our scopes that our red and our blue move up and our green stays about where it is. But if we move that to green, red and blue go down while green goes up. So the scopes are a great way to be able to tell if you're maybe moving things in an even way, or if you are specifically not wanting to move things in an even way, you'll be able to pick which one you want to move up. So you get that red up, everything turns red. Offset, the wheel that I was just using, changes your whole image as like a big blanket. Gain is only going to change the bright areas of your image. Gamma is going to change your midtones around, and lift is going to lift your shadows to a certain color if you drag this, or if you want to just make them brighter, you use this little dial down here. So you can make them darker, you can make them brighter, you can do whatever you want. If you need to reset this because you've goofed like this or something like that, you go ahead and just press that little loop arrow right there and it will reset whatever changes you made on that wheel. If you need to reset all of your wheels, it's this little loop with a plus right next to where it says primaries wheels right here. So next up, now that we've covered these wheels and what sections of your image you're going to be changing by using each one, we're going to go ahead and talk about contrast. Now contrast with this slider is pretty easy. You can turn the contrast down, there's less contrast, you can turn it up, there's more. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to skip over pivot because if you're just doing the basics, you don't really need to be messing around with pivot too much. So saturation is going to change the saturation of your colors. You can see as we crank that up, our greens become really green, our oranges become really orange, and our colors just become fully saturated. But if we go ahead and bring that all the way down, we'll be working with a black and white image with no colors in it. Hue, you're only going to use really for like fun effects because it's going to change every color, but it changes them in a uniform way. So all of your browns will change evenly, all of your greens will change evenly, everything changes evenly, but it's never going to give you like a really natural look because everything in it will be different and our eyes are used to seeing things a certain color. Luma mix you're going to use if you use a lot of saturate or contrast. So if you do that and then you mess with your Luma mix, you'll soften it in one way or another. Generally you can skip that. It's not a huge deal most of the time. Temperature, a positive number is going to give you warmer colors. It's going to change everything to be more orange, and a negative number is going to change everything to be cooler or more blue. And you can double click on the word on any of these and it will reset them back to their base value. Tint is going to do the same thing as color, but we're going to be moving between magenta and green because those colors are opposites. So if your camera shoots and everything kind of looks pink all the time, you're going to push that tint a little bit to the green side and you'll be all set. Midtone detail is going to bring up those, it's essentially like a clarity slider if you're used to editing photos. So you can smooth everything out, or you can really make everything hard and you can see all the details in your midtones. And then we have color boost, which is similar to saturation but likes to destroy things a lot more. So go ahead and be pretty gentle with your color boost, and if you are just getting started, try to stick to saturation instead of color boost. You'll find it to be a little bit easier and less intense. Shadows are going to do similar things to just using this lift wheel right here. So you can turn them way up, it's bright, or you can turn them way down and it's dark. It's not as intense as the wheel, you're able to do more with the wheel, but this is nice if you just need like some changes. Highlights, same deal. You'll grab the brightest areas of your image, make them brighter or darker, and that's that. If you don't want to be affecting your main clip, you go ahead and click on your node up here. If you don't see this, go ahead and click on nodes in your top right corner. So go ahead and click on that, Shift S, and you'll make a new serial node. And now you're starting from a base node. If you need to make a different node, go ahead, right click on Add Node. You can add all sorts of nodes in here, but we're going to be sticking to serial nodes because this is a basics lesson. So add serial node, there it is. Now if we make any changes to this, like if we wanted to make masks or something, which is another more advanced technique, you would be making that in here instead of affecting your original footage. Or if you just want to try something out, say, I wonder how it would look if I took my gain and made it magenta, right? You can do that in this node, and then if it looks ugly and you hate it and you don't want to mess with all the other things that you've done, you can just delete that node, and now you still have your grade from your first one. So this is basics of color grading. You can do a lot with just those tools. I hope you guys learned what you were looking to learn today, and I will see you in the next video.